Hi guys.
First of all, thank you so much for having us. And for those who know us, don't worry, we're going to try to not have a banter.
No, we'll try not to.
We'll try not to. Okay.
Right, so opposites attract. I'm sure you've heard of that phrase. And birds of a feather flock together. I'm sure you've heard of that phrase as well. Well, in our case, both these phrases stand true.
So today we're going to give you a peek into our lives and let you know that how two very different people from different spheres of life can come together and create something bigger, better, and in our case, funnier. So I started my career as an interior designer and I thought I was going to love it. But as time passed by, I realized that this is something that I'm not really enjoying. Something had to change. And luckily, a friend of mine told me that there was an audition for the brand Dove. And she said I should give it a shot. I didn't just get the part, but it also became my introduction to the world of acting. It was going great. I was bagging ads after ads. I even got like a few web shows. And just as my career was taking over, the pandemic hit. And auditions became less, and my career started looking very bleak.
And I was in the world of filmmaking. Look at how happy he is. Poor guy. Because everything was going to change for him. No one told him how difficult it was to make money through filmmaking. And months would go by with zero income coming in, and I desperately needed cash flow. So I turned to the corporate world. I got a job in sales, and I started getting my monthly salary, and I got very comfortable. And that was the biggest problem. I became too comfortable. Because before I knew it, 10 years had just passed by. And now we both were on the same boat. Both of us very unhappy with where life had gotten us. But, oh yeah, the sad corporate guy. But things were going to change, and in the way that we least expected. Content creation.
So why content? I vividly remember that I used to sit with Rohit and tell him that I have a dream for us to work together. Now what and in how much capacity, I had no idea. So I just came across this one reel that was like a 30-day reel challenge, which means every day you put up a reel for 30 days, hoping that the engagement goes up, and if you're lucky, you will get more followers. Now, because my work was slow, I had the time, and I honestly wanted to do something else that didn't depend on others, like acting.
I, on the other hand, I had a very different motivation, a very big motivation. What do you think that was? Money! The biggest motivator there is. So what happened was I met a friend of mine, and he was very well connected to other content creators. So one day he started telling me about this very kind of talented Bollywood choreographer who wasn't being able to get a breakthrough in the industry. So what this guy did, the dancer, he turned to Instagram Reels. And now, mind you, at this point, I'm in a corporate job. Okay? So he said he used Instagram Reels to gain popularity and become viral, but viral to a point because this guy was good. He reached a point where he started charging, and hold your horses, 6 lakhs for one reel. That's a video that's under a minute. Let that sink in. That means he could probably make 4 reels in a month and earn 250 crore. I'm sitting there thinking I would have to work for 2 years plus overtime, and even then probably still not reach that amount. So it's very safe to say I was absolutely sold, literally, on the idea of content creation.
But for me, I had to verify that information. So I went down the rabbit hole and I did all my research, and I came across this one podcast where these two podcasters were talking about how much money you can actually make in the industry. I think that was it. We knew what we had to do, but the next big question was how.
How content creation?
So for me, I don't have any formal training in acting. But every audition, every rejection, every minute spent on set became my school of acting. Rohit, on the other hand, had a very beautiful knack of storytelling and a decent sense of direction and also his editing skills, which he actually came to Mumbai to learn.
Correct. So, like she said, we came from two separate worlds. She was an actress. I was into editing, etc. So yeah, we knew that we had something that if we brought together, that there's something there that we could work with, for sure, for content creation. But things weren't that simple for us because she was already getting paid as an actress, right? She was making money. I had my corporate job, which was paying me a salary. So we couldn't just throw that away and risk it on something that might or might not work. Correct? So we had to be smart about it. We had to take a calculated risk. So this is where my corporate experience came in handy. So I made a routine for us where on a Sunday, we would shoot like 6 to 7 reels. And we would upload those reels throughout the entire week. Simple enough? And then through that week, whenever we got free time, during our breaks, during our commute to work, wherever, we would come up with ideas that we would shoot on the next coming Sunday. So the routine is set. But then making it on social media is not something that happens overnight. It takes time to gain that traction, correct? So 30 days wasn't going to cut it for us if we had to give it a real shot. So we decided to extend that, let's call it a trial period, to 90 days. 90 days. So after 90 days, which would mean 90 reels, if it still didn't work, we at least knew that we gave it our best shot.
Now we started with no expectation, but through our research, we got to know that in India alone, there are like 10 crore content creators. So we are not new to the game. But what I remember was when we came together, we were just having fun. And even as a hobby, we were pushing past our comfort zone and doing something really creative. All I knew was that even if it works out or not, this is something that we truly enjoy doing. And 30 days just passed like that, but then we encountered another problem that we didn't see coming.
The naysayers.
So what I realized was that apart from a few strangers on the internet that were starting to like our content, people around us weren't acknowledging what we were doing. They thought it's just for fun and games. And also my subordinates in the acting industry, they told me that don't put your reels online because your perception as a serious actor is getting sabotaged.
Imagine. Yeah, so on the other hand, I was working in an office, right? And 10 years, so I had a higher position. Now, I'd come to office and I'd ask these guys if they finished their work or they attended that meeting or met their targets. And they'd look at me with an awkward smile. And I was wondering what's happening. Because they stopped taking me seriously altogether. I was like, oh, wait. Because I saw them. They were scrolling through my reels. And our niche is comedy. So who's going to take me seriously? And that became a major issue at office for me at a point. Plus, my content is English. Completely English. We've always been shooting in English. In the beginning, every single person we encountered, they told us, it's never going to work. You're bound to fail. Make content in Hindi. Otherwise, you will not succeed. There's no chance. You won't get growth. You won't get views. Kuch nahi hone wala. That's what they were telling us. There was so much negativity that we experienced in the beginning. I can't put it in words. It was horrible. But then we knew if we had to succeed, we had to push past this. All this noise. We couldn't let these external voices pull us down in any way.
And it turned out to be that making content in English turned out to be our biggest strength. Because gradually we saw that our reels weren't just getting shared in India, but also globally. Usain Bolt liked one of our reels and we weren't even that big at that point of time. And it just took one video that completely changed our lives forever.
The unicorn. Wow, that's a very cool pic, yeah.
So 3 months had passed and we were making content and big things were happening. Now Rohit and I decided to get married. Just when we took this decision, the work environment where Rohit was working at became very hostile and he had to quit. But for some reason, we had unwavering faith that we would be okay. Along with the support of our family, we embarked on a journey not just as husband and wife, but as full-time content creators. But the problem was that we were still small creators. We were called micro-influencers. So we were very concerned about where our life is heading. But then there was something that happened that completely changed our lives and it put us on the map.
So we were making a lot of reels during this point. We were very regular, almost every day, and brands had started approaching us. One of those brands happened to be a condom brand. Now, we instantly said no because our content is family friendly, very PG-13. So we were very apprehensive. We were like, no, bro, we're not doing this. But then Kanu had a thought. She said, how about we portray this ad in a very non-stereotypical way that a condom ad would normally be shown as, and show it in a very family-friendly manner that the world has never seen before. She wanted to take it up as a challenge, and I thought that was a brilliant idea because we had never pushed our limits. So I took on that project. I went to the brand, I said yes. And I sat down and I ideated for a while, and the idea I came up with, I was very proud. I went and told all my friends as just to test how it is. And they all burst out laughing. I was like, yes, full confidence. I have a brilliant idea. I went and sat with the marketing team of the brand. I told them my idea and they said it was horrible. They hated it. They said, no, it's cheap, useless, not going to work. The mic okay?
Yeah.
All good? Yeah. It's not going to work. And I mean, it's so disheartening. Like bullets, the words were hurting me. I couldn't take it. So I said, I did something a content creator is never supposed to do. I told them, I guarantee you will get million views. You're never supposed to guarantee. They still said no. I said, okay. I went back. As I thought of a different idea. I went to them. I gave them that idea. They said, okay, we shot it. It hit 1 million views. But this idea was stuck in my mind because I had so much faith and confidence that this would work. So she came up to me and she said, let's just put it up anyway, na? Have faith in our idea. So I took her, took my friends. We went downstairs to the pharmacy right below our building. We shot it. We uploaded it in 2 days. Today, that video has 85 million views on Instagram. 127 million views on YouTube. And the millions of views on Reddit and WhatsApp and all the other external platforms that I'm not even counting. All this happened because I simply had faith in my vision and my content. If I had heard that brand, we would have not been on the map. No one would have probably even known us today. Jason Derulo got in touch with me on Instagram, asking me to if he could re-upload the same video on his YouTube channel. This actually happened.
Now, suddenly, wherever we went, we were getting recognition. And everywhere we went, people were like, hey, condom guy. Not something flattering for a newly-wed wife, but honestly, this appreciation was something that we totally loved. All our hard work, our calculated risk was finally being acknowledged by everybody. And that's it. Rest was history.
Yeah, and that brings us to where we are today. I was working at a 9 to 5 and wasn't enjoying it at all. Today I'm working 24/7 and I'm absolutely loving it. You know, it's crazy how that simple thought of bringing these two worlds together to create something special would put us on the map in this way.
Yeah.
You know?
Today we worked with over like 100 brands. Example, Amazon, Uber, Nykaa, L'Oreal, Garnier. I've lost count. And collectively, we have over 1 million followers over Instagram combined, roughly close to 3 million followers on our YouTube channel, and 3 billion views on our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
We also started travel vlogging.
Thank you.
Now, a lot of people had told us, travel vlogging nahi chalne wala hai again. But we went ahead with it. And we have met so many of our fans who have come up to us and said that we have seen your travel vlogs and they have inspired us to book a trip with our family, our spouses, because they actually believe the content that we are putting out there. So apart from the numbers and the money, we've actually built such a strong community which ranges from 5 to 6-year-old kids to grandmothers and grandfathers who meet us and they say your content is so relatable and it puts a smile on our face. So for us, that is completely priceless.
Yeah, I remember there was this one time where Kanu and me had gone for dinner, and this gentleman walked up to our table. He recognized us, and he said, we love your content. You put a smile on all our faces. In church, he turned out to be a father, a priest. And he said, you guys are doing God's work, so thank you. That day we looked at each other and we were like, we just got our blessings directly from God. Now there's no stopping us. You know? So, for anyone out there who thinks it's too late and the time has gone by to make a career shift or take that chance, I want to ask you guys a question. Who in the audience over here thinks that I'm from the age of 25 to 30?
Nobody.
That
Nobody.
hurt more than it should have. I was spinning. Okay, fine. So 30 to 35. 30 to younger, you said. 30 to 35. Come on, yaar.
I feel sorry for
This
you.
is so painful. Acha, okay, 35 to 40. Yeah, that's right. I'm 37 years old. And yeah, I'm 37 years old and I got to live my passion and my dream at the age of 36. I started at the age of 36. So you can use me as a live example. Trust me, it is never too late. Moreover, we never let ourselves get comfortable. Comfort is a killer of dreams. We never let ourselves get comfortable. We dare to dream, but not only dream, also act. Because a dream without action will remain just that, a dream.
Now we played with our strengths. We understood what we brought to the table. Those two people who were working differently are now working in synergy and making life bigger and better for themselves together.
Yeah, I mean, I'm living a dream, yeah, working with my wife 24/7. It's an absolute dream. I mean, okay, it's a dream for me, but an absolute nightmare for some people.
Remember, if you do something because you have to do it, you'll only get it done.
And if you do something that you want to do, you will also do it well. Yeah, wow, this is the longest I've gone without being yelled at. Please invite me more often, guys. Thank you, guys. Have a
Thank
lovely
you so
evening
much.
and a lovely weekend. Thank you.
Thank you.